What's up? We live. What's up? It's your boy, Coach A. Welcome to the Impact Podcast Show. Happy Friday. Yes, sir. Hope you guys have some awesome plans. We got an awesome show for you today. Yep, got the myth, the legend. So I was at LA Fitness one time and I was out there hooping and I saw this guy. He was working out and then he started peeking in the gym, right? And I'm like, who this guy? Is that R. Kelly? No, that ain't R. Kelly. So, I got to know him and find out it was they started buzzing around the gym like, yo, it's a ex NBA player that's coming by here that's working out. So, end up being him, and I started talking to him and told him about a league that I was playing in, and lo and behold, he show up killing everybody. So here he is out here killing us old folks. So, but anyway, I hope y'all having an awesome day. It's like 7 o'clock. The weekend is here. Thank God it's Friday. So I want to give y'all some little statistics. I want y'all to understand something. So I looked up and did a little study for the NCAA, right? And this was a 2020 statistics. It says out of 5,400 male high school basketball athletes, right? That's like 500,000. It's only about 18,000 that actually play college, that get like a scholarship. That's about 3.5%. So that's very low. So then that number also dwindles down even more if you think about going to a Division I school. So we talking over 500,000 high school athletes, only about 18,000 end up playing college ball, and even which is about 3%, and even less than that wind up on a Division I team. And so to take it even further, to go from Division I and to play in the actual NBA, it's about a 1% chance that out of those 18,000 Division I players or the college players, it's only a 1% chance that they make it to the NBA. And sure enough, this guy that I got on the show, his name is Sam Young, was one of that 1%. He even started playing basketball at a late age, at about the age of 14, and he was able to make it all the way to the NBA. So he's part of those 1%ers. So I'm gonna bring him in after the intro. So y'all just hang tight. We're gonna have some questions a little later. You can always chime in on the comments if you have a question. All right. It's your boy Coach A, and you know what it is. It's the Impact Show.
What's your style? My style? You can call it the art of fighting without fighting.
Heavenly Father is heaven. God of my weapon is all that I got for me to believe in. Often looking in the mirror, so seeking, trying to find a reason to keep on breathing. In the eyes of a lonely man, there's never the hope that tomorrow will come. Are you waiting patiently for the return of your prodigal son? While everyone's calling me done. Empty bottles and guns, pillars of smoke blowing out of me lungs. You open your gate for the ones they forsake. Make case, don't wait, I gotta be one.
Yes, sir. Look at it. It's the man, Sam Young. What's up, man? How you doing?
What's good, baby? Appreciate you for having me.
No, man. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule, because I know you're busy. I already know you got the business going here. You got real estate going here. You got the training going here. You all over the place, man. How you do it?
Man, hard work, putting that same energy into that I use for basketball, putting it into the business world. I mean, one of my biggest fears is being broke. So, so that'll change everything, man. That put everything in perspective.
It does for sure. So a lot of times that same fear doesn't, what I'm saying, it still don't drive everybody. Some people still wind up being broke, but not you. You got a lot of stuff going on. In addition to that, also you helping, man. You supplying jobs. Was that the intent, or that's just like the side effect of you being worried about being broke? You creating jobs for other people too.
No, I think that's just kind of the side effect. Like obviously, a big part of business is being able to serve and helping other people, being able to produce a solid product or produce something that other people can be able to benefit off of. whether it being them working for you or you creating a service,
Mm-hmm.
and they benefit that way. So it was just a side effect, I guess.
So have you always had that entrepreneur spirit, or it just, you know, like I said, like you mentioned, you was just that fear of being broke? Because some people go just get a regular job instead of owning their own business.
Nah, man, like I feel like after playing in the NBA, after playing in basketball and doing something that you love, trying to trying to consider a 9 to 5 is that's very difficult to go from playing in the NBA and then doing a 9 to 5, and then obviously 9 to 5 you're not really making too much money doing that, especially coming from the NBA when you put stuff in perspective. I mean, it just don't add up. So now you got to figure out like how do I turn this basketball career into something that makes sense for me financially moving forward, because I got a lot of life to live. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and then you start putting things in perspective, what you like to do, what can you see yourself doing long term. Because playing basketball, obviously you was good at it because you love the game. And if you ain't love the game as much, you probably wouldn't be as successful because you wouldn't work this hard. So now I got to figure out something that I really like. Kind of, keep up that same energy.
That's good. Keeping up that same energy. So did somebody, what I'm saying, teach you, or how did you, what took you to real estate, getting involved with real estate?
I don't know. I just always had a passion for it. Like even when I was in college, I wanted to take some real estate classes, but they didn't have it at Pittsburgh. So when I got drafted, I just bought a few houses, and then at that time it was in a recession. The real estate market was down. Everything was stupid. It was super cheap. So
2008.
and in my mind, like my family, we from the hood. We ain't really got too much. So in my mind, I'm like, damn, houses this cheap? I ain't, I'm buying houses for like $30,000-$40,000. I ain't know how. I never really looked into buying houses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I got in a position where I could buy houses or could buy property, everything was so cheap. I just thought that was the norm.
Mm-hmm.
Now realizing, and I think like now, just looking back on it, I could have took more advantage of the opportunity that existed back then. But man, I was just young and dumb at that time.
Yeah. So going back to, you mentioned, during the NBA, because we don't see I've never seen an NBA player working. Well, although Shaq always, doing something crazy. He might show up at his chicken place or whatnot, but you don't see most of them. So they have to transition, from a certain lifestyle back to other lifestyle. But talk about when you was drafted. You from a 2009, right? Drafted number 36, second round.
Yeah.
Well, it's some dogs in that draft class that
Yeah,
year
man,
that came
like
in.
we had a lot of talented players that come out when I came out. I think a
Well, I
lot of
got the list. You don't have to think. I got the
yeah.
list.
Oh, you got the list.
I
No,
got the list.
it was a lot of people that people didn't think was going to do good. They ended up doing good.
Yeah.
A lot of people that got drafted was like super high that didn't do so well. It was a crazy draft though, but like man, it was a great time. It was a good experience. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about basketball. Like I ain't know nothing about basketball, the business side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Being drafted and kind of going through that whole whirlwind with getting a lot of money and family and like it was crazy. It was a crazy time, but it was fun. It was enjoyable.
So I'm gonna throw some notable names out there during that whole, that year. Who went first?
My year,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, it was Blake Griffin.
Yep. Blake Griffin. And then James Harden, he was drafted third. You had Steph Curry, DeMar DeRozan.
Look at you. You skip right over my man Hasheem to beat.
Yeah. No, I'm just doing notable names.
No, because Shane would play. He got drafted on the team. We went to the same team. We both went to Memphis. He was the number 2 pick.
Yeah.
Obviously, he didn't do that well. So nobody really talk about him no more. But it was
Nope.
funny how you went to Blake Griffin, then went to third.
Yeah, went to third, and I'm gonna skip some more people too. DeMar DeRozan, he was 9.
Yeah,
Drew Holiday, he's still playing.
yeah.
Yeah. And then Patrick Beverly.
Steph Curry.
Yeah, we mentioned Steph, Danny Green,
Yeah, Danny Green.
and Patty Mills. So listen, coming in as a rookie, right? Coming in as a rookie, what's that like? Did they get you with any hazing? Do they make you carry all the bags, or you got to wash people's cars? What's that like coming in as a rookie?
It was cool. It wasn't bad. It was I came in with an attitude, man. Like I wasn't trying to carry nobody bags, man. but like after a while, when I started showing like a little resentment, not resentment, but I started becoming like a little rebellious a little bit, with certain things. They realized like, oh, this rookie don't want to do stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? And then they started to kind of making me do more stuff. So during that time, like I remember one time where I think it was like Zach or somebody, I can't remember who it was, but they asked me to carry some bags off the bus. And I was like, man, I'm not carrying no damn bags, man. They was like, what'd you say? I'm not carrying no bags, man. And then I got my check, and they took like 10,000 on my check. Then I started carrying bags that was sent.
They'd hit y'all like that if you don't do that.
Man, it was probably like it was probably like 5. It was about 5 or 10. They hit me, took about 5 or 10 on my check, something like that.
Just from not carrying bags. So who in charge of that? Like, is it the team, or how can they just? It has to be the team because that's what you get paid for.
Yeah, I think the team. I guess they said that I did something, or they put it in the wording. They worded it in some type of way. I wasn't being compliant some type of way, and then they deducted that money from my check.
He was heated. But you started carrying bags after that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So
can't
obviously,
mess with money.
Say what?
Can't mess with a man's money.
Nah. So listen, that's all the way on the other end, making it to the NBA is a huge. That's like hitting the lottery for some people. It's hard to do, but from the start, man, you was your mom had you at age 14.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, because my mom, she had me at 15. I used to see it on the birth certificate, like, dang. So I can't imagine at 14.
Yeah, 14.
So out of 5, it was 5 of y'all.
Yeah.
And so where are you falling at?
I'm the oldest. So she had somebody at 13?
I was testing you.
Okay.
I was testing you. So listen, that means you was the built-in babysitter too. I know you had to watch kids.
And they thought I did. I wasn't watching nobody, man. So what happened? My mother, she had me at when she was like 14, 15. Then she had by the time she was 20, she had 3 kids. By the time she was 25, she had 5 kids. So imagine that 25 with 5 kids. You know what I mean?
Kids. Yeah.
And a single mom at that. You know what I mean? I'm the oldest, and we're trying to navigate, life, in the hood and all that comes with it. So it was.
How you in Washington, right?
Yeah, in Washington D.C. Once I got to high school, we slowly start. Well, I'm gonna say once I got to junior high, we slowly started making our way to like the suburbs. But for the most part, I was raised in Washington D.C.
So what was it like during that time? What type of kid was you during that time?
I was just I was a good kid, man. I never did anything bad. I was scared my mother was gonna put her hands on me.
Oh, she was old school.
Oh yeah, she had them hands, baby. She had them hands. She ain't played. So I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and stay in line. She might hit me with a left hook or something. But like I was just like one of those. I was a daredevil. I used to always I'd be climbing on top of buildings and doing backflips and all that type of stuff. So I was like into that. I thought I was when I was young, super young. I thought I was Karate Kid or something.
Karate. I was just finna say that you was watching karate movies all the time.
John Claude Van Damme all day.
Yeah, running up. We taught ourselves how to flip. Did you teach yourself how to flip?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw you in a trampoline. One video I saw you doing a trampoline. I'm like, this cat, you too tall to be flipping like that.
Yeah, that's what everybody said. I'm nice though.
So I heard one time I heard y'all moved about 9 times, 9 different times. Is that correct?
I mean, probably so. Like we moved a lot. We was trying to figure it out. Like we was like trying to figure out how to, like as like when my mother was getting different jobs and stuff like that, she would slowly try to move us further and further out. So throughout that process, we was just moving, you know what I mean, until she got to a place where she felt comfortable enough that we can go to school and be safe.
Wow, so that's good. She was working hard and moving y'all out. So it had to be
Definitely.
tough. Did you have a chance to make any friends or keep any lifelong friends, or would that didn't come till later?
From like elementary or middle school, no, not really. You know, not really. But like high school, you know, I kept in touch with all my high school, well, a lot of my high school friends, especially the ones that was on the basketball team. But as far as like middle school, elementary school, I don't remember nobody.
See, that's part of moving too, yeah. So listen, part of so it wasn't until around high school is when y'all got stable.
Yeah. I mean, you know, stable for you know, getting out the ghetto and, you know, being I guess you could call it stable, but it's still like, you know, when you so let me say I was about, if I'm 15, my mother 15 years older than me. So if I'm 15, my mother's 30. And she got 5 kids, like as stable as you can be in that situation. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Well, what I mean by stable, I mean by where you didn't move. You're not moving as often. Pretty much know that this is where you're going to be. You know, the next at least 2-3 years, you're going to finish off high school here, or whatever the situation.
Yeah, so once I got to like Fort Washington, the Fort Washington area, I went to Friendly High School. We didn't really move anymore after that. We kind of stayed put until I graduated.
Okay. So when you pick up a basketball?
I picked up basketball my 9th grade year. I was just a 6'3", 15, 14-year-old walking through the halls, and the basketball coach was like, "Man, you gonna have the grades to play basketball? You play basketball?" I'm like, "Yeah, I play." I play. I was supposed to play in junior high, but I ain't had the grades.
Oh.
So I never played. But so they were asking me like, "Are you gonna have the grades? Are you gonna play?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I ended up trying out. Obviously, I did pretty decent that was my first time. That's my first year playing organized basketball. So I had to learn everything on the go. Like I was learning all the rules, like I ain't know, when I say I ain't know nothing, as raw as you can think of somebody jumping into like a new industry or a new like profession or sport. I was this raw talent. Obviously, I was flipping everywhere, so I was athletic.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty decent footwork for not playing ever, you know what I mean? But I was just raw talent.
Yeah, so, that's late. That's late to be starting too, especially to reach the level that you reached. You know, it's amazing from you starting that late, being able to make it all the way up there.
Yeah, so I think if I wasn't in DC, if I wasn't in the DC area, there's no way I would have made it, because this is like the culture of basketball in our area was just so thorough that like playing against the guys I had to play against and the guys and then me being like I'm just a natural competitor. So me playing against the guys I've been playing their whole life, and then at the same time looking to beat those guys. Like I wasn't looking to back down from nobody. So me trying to beat those guys and then making sure that the next time I go up against them, I'm gonna do better. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
that kind of drove me. Like that was like my first 2 years, and then after that, like my junior year and senior year, I just killed everybody.
Junior and senior year.
Junior year and senior year, I just killed everybody. Like my freshman year, sophomore year, I showed like athletic ability, and I was just learning the game. But at the same time, I was in the gym all the time. Once I found basketball, or basketball found me, or however you want to say it, I was in the gym all the time. So like I was constantly learning stuff. And like a lot of people, they might have started when they was in 10th grade. I mean, started when they was like in second grade or third grade when they was young, but they ain't in the gym like that. I was in the gym. Like the way I wasn't even going to school. We wasn't even going. Probably shouldn't say this on the podcast. We didn't go to school.
We know you. That's how they knew you wasn't gonna make the grade. They was like, are you gonna be eligible? You ain't been here.
No, I was there. I was in school. I just wasn't in the class. We was in the gym. We was working out all day in the gym. All day in the gym working out.
So I ain't even gonna ask you how you pass your classes if you didn't go to class.
Oh man, I mean,
it just
little magic trick.
The magic trick there, exactly. So listen, tell me about Hargrove Military Academy.
Hargrove was I think that was like one of the defining moments. To be honest, one of the defining moments of my life because. That was the first time I went to a place. It was like a culture shop that was predominantly white, where it wasn't no black folks, but the athletes. And then on top of that, it was so strict and so disciplined. You had to march to breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You for 9 months there was no cell phones, no TVs, no girls. You had to wear a uniform. You had to shine your belt buckle. You had to put on your little hat and make sure your collar. You couldn't have no stains on your shirt. You had to make your bed up every morning. You had to march to breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like it was rough, especially coming from where I was coming from, where we didn't have to really do too much. Like we kind of had it good in a way because it was like obviously we did just enough to pass the classes. We passed with all C's or some C's and some D's, and then got on the court and did our thing, and that was enough.
That was enough.
But in that process, I ain't take the SATs at all. I wasn't really prepared to go straight to college. So that whole year of Hargrove and all that discipline was like a big turning point, where that 1 year prepared me for college and everything I needed to know and everything I needed to do in regards of this being successful. And then once I graduated from there, I was like, man, if I can do this, I can do anything. And that's kind of what I got my mindset when I went to college. I was like, man, I ain't no way I'm about to go through this and not put myself in position to be successful going forward. I ain't do this for nothing because that shit was difficult. It was difficult.
Did you ever think that you wasn't gonna finish it?
Yeah, I almost quit. Almost quit a couple times. I remember being in my coach's office, and I was about to go home. I was like, man, I'm ready to go home. I can't do this no more. He was like, man, what you gonna do when you get home? I was like, I'll figure it out. And he was like, man, you gonna go home. You ain't gonna do nothing. You gonna be sitting around and then he just kind of talked some sense into me, and I went back in the dorm room in the barracks. They call it the barracks, like in where all the postgraduates stay.
Mm-hmm.
I just sat down and sat on the bed, man, started thinking. I just ended up staying. And he was like, you're gonna let your mother down, you're gonna let your grandmother down, and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So I just
sucked it up.
Yeah, I sucked it up and kept it moving. But I wanted to quit so bad a few times, man. It was a difficult
So this was a place where you stayed on campus, you stayed there?
Yeah.
And so was it an actual college or it was just was it a junior college or because
It
you
was,
graduated from high school?
nah, so that was my high school. That was the high school I graduated from. So after my senior year of regular high school,
Mhm.
I played the season. After the season, I stopped going to school.
Mm.
So I pretty much like kept myself back to go to this postgraduate school, but I needed to go to that postgraduate school because I haven't even taken the SATs yet.
Right.
I haven't done anything yet. You know what I'm saying? And my GPA was shit. That was like at a 1.7 or 1.8 or something like that. So I ain't really had a grades to do what I needed to do. And I know I wasn't about to get no, what was it, 1,600 on the SAT? I know I wasn't about to get no 1,600.
No, you ain't even in class. You ain't
Yeah,
even in class to get a 100. What are you talking about? You in the gym.
I think you get a 100 by putting your name on the.
So look, so um during that time, you mentioned you know your dad, right?
Huh?
I said you know who your dad is. You met your dad.
Yeah, yeah.
So how was the relationship between you two
Uh,
during that time? You know, high school.
so during that time, my father, when he got out of jail, my father, let me say, when I was 15, when I was 15, my father was about 30. So when I was about 16, he was about 32. Or when I was about 17, he was about 32. So I'm gonna say like around that time, my father, probably like a few years prior to that, me going to high school, or maybe he was even younger. But my father was like he wasn't really in position to be a father. Like he had a drug addiction, and he was
Mm,
this he was in jail for a little bit. Got out of jail. He was chasing women a little bit. Had a drug addiction, and he just kind of was just kind of struggling with that. So like I would see him, but you know it wasn't nothing productive or nothing that I can really uh, benefit
nothing,
from
yeah,
or
nothing you can glean
leverage.
from or learn. Yeah.
Nothing that I can leverage. You know what I mean? So it was just
Yep.
like that relationship was there, but it was like I couldn't really do nothing with it productive.
Yeah. So not having your dad be productive or be that role model, who did you take after? Like there had to be somebody you was focused on to be like, yeah, I could be like him or
Nah, I really
nobody?
ain't. Nah. I mean, I just had like certain people that I knew that basketball was can be like the vehicle that can take me out of the current situation.
Hmm.
Saying everybody that I grew up around or with, ain't nobody really doing too much. Don't nobody really know or have any of the answers. So I just kind of tried to like my coach, my high school coach. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he went to college and that was like a big deal at the time in high school. And my high school coach went to college and he was able to share some of the experiences. And there's like just different people in the neighborhood you could take different experiences from, like different things from different people, and to kind of gauge and get an idea of how you want your setup to be in the future. So that was kind of how I did it. It wasn't really nobody in particular, but I just tried to get as much as I can from as many people as I can.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, you're that whole story, that's fortunate, to your situation to make it at the level because a lot of people, without having their dad to push them or their mom working. So I would imagine she was gone all the time because she had to work. She had to work. So and then you don't have no role model. Nobody took you to the gym. You just went on your own.
Yeah, but it was just like my coach, my coach at the time, my high school coach, when I was in my sophomore year of high school. Uh, I don't know what it was, but this dude just ain't want to go home, so he just stayed at he just stayed at the school with us like all the time. So even after school, we'll work out in the gym during school hours sometimes, and then after school, we would just stay up there. We'll have practice, and then we'll what I'm saying, get workouts in after that sometimes. So it was just my coach pretty much kind of helped pave the way God rest his soul. You know?
Yeah. So what was his name?
Coach Gerald Moore.
Coach Jeremore. So
Uh-huh.
now you graduating from this Hargrove
Yeah, Hargrave.
Hargrave. So you got some scholarships, some people looking at you now.
Oh yeah, so when I was in Hargrave, it was difficult, but we was ranked number 2 in the country.
Mm.
Postgraduate, I was prep school player of the year in Hargrave Military Academy. So we only lost one game that year. We killed everybody. The only team that we lost to was, if I'm not mistaken, it was Oak Hill with Kevin Durant.
I was gonna ask you that. Did you who else did you play while they
Yeah.
was in high school? Kevin Durant.
Oh yeah, that boy was the truth. That boy was the truth. Yeah,
So
Him and Ty Lawson was on the same team. Boy, that
mhm.
Ty Lawson was running up and down that court so fast that nobody keep up with him. And it was crazy. They they made us look. But this was like one of our first games. This was like our first or second game we played them. They made us look. They made us look pretty bad that day.
They
Yeah.
got on you.
Huh?
I said they got on y'all. So now listen, you get a how many choices did you have? Why you end up going to University of Pittsburgh?
Because when I was at Friendly before I went to Hargrave, the coach came to Friendly to see me.
Mhm.
I didn't have the grades and I didn't take the SAT test, SAT. But they came down there to check me out, and they showed interest. And then when they found out I was going to Hargrave, they still showed interest. And that was my first visit. And when I went down there, I seen the arena, I seen the gym. I asked some friends what type of program Pittsburgh got because I ain't know nothing about college basketball. I was so when I tell you I was so not a student of the game, it was ridiculous. I ain't know nothing, so I had to ask everybody like, well, "What you think about Pittsburgh?" So they kind of gave me the rundown, the history and stuff like that. So I decided to go. They was like, "If you go there, you definitely gonna be on ESPN." I said, "All right, well, I'm going there."
Yeah, you among some greats at alumni. I looked it up. We talked about it before. Larry Fitzgerald, Dan Marino,
Mhm.
Mark Cuban,
Yeah,
Aaron McDonald, who just won the Super Bowl,
yeah, yeah.
uh, Joe Flacco,
Uh-huh.
Steven Adams, he's a basketball player,
Yeah,
Mike Ditka, LaShawn McCoy,
yeah.
football player, James Conner, and the Hall of Famer Tony Dorsett. So you among them great names, man.
I'm third. I'm third all-time leading scorer at Pitt. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah. Uh-huh.
that's awesome, man. So did they retire your jersey? Probably not.
Not at all, man. They so
You got some,
they,
yeah,
they so disrespectful, but that's another. So we gonna
yeah.
not,
They got some scrub wearing it now. They got some scrub wearing it now. Probably too big for
yeah, man. We gonna have a talk about that, man. I'm not.
them. We done had a lot of talks.
No, I'm talking about me in the school. Me in the school need to have a conversation.
Yeah, they go, oh, y'all gonna have a conversation about that? Get
Yeah,
that number retired, huh?
exactly.
So listen, man, making it to the highest level of your sport, you know, and a lot of people, it brings a lot of attention. And so the average person is not built to endure scrutiny or any type of criticisms from thousands and thousands of people or millions of people. So has there ever been a time that you was under that criticism or you felt the pressure from, people chiming in and, maybe a mistake that you did, or, you know what I'm saying, somebody dunked on you or whatever the situation might be? Has there ever been a time where you felt pressure from a lot of people? And how was you able to handle it? Could be good or bad.
The pressure is always there. It's just like whether or not you're gonna allow yourself to pay attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of nothing right now that kind of rings a bell. I always was able to kind of block out a lot of the pressure or a lot of the nonsense, especially in college. College really ain't get to me. I remember feeling like my sophomore year that I should have been playing more, and I wanted to play, and I wanted to, and I was better than how I was being used. I felt like I was better than the person in front of me and stuff like that. But I don't really know if it was pressure. Yeah, I was always able to block out that pressure, man. Like I'm built for this, man.
You're built for it, huh? Well, speaking of pressure, right? Let me go ahead and put this clip on here and tell me what you think about this pressure.
So here's LeBron James on the drive right here. Here's the whistle.
Yo, what was you thinking right there? That's what I want to know. What do you remember what's going through your head?
Yeah, I can't remember what game that was in the playoffs. I don't know if it was game because we went 7 games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure which game that was, but I just remember that it was a lot at stake, and I was he wasn't going to get me off his ass. Like I was just, he was going to show me. Like you know how like some people, I don't mind you being great, but you're gonna have to show me how great you are. And that was just my mindset. Like you can be great, but we're gonna see how great you are. You're gonna have to show me how great you are. You know what I mean? He got through that thing. They won that. They won it. Woo! We almost had. We was this close, man.
That was close.
We was that close. They got past us though.
So how you feel about them now? Do you be hating on them? Glad when they lose?
Oh man, you know sometimes I find myself hating just a little bit. But nah, man.
Honesty.
LeBron is he's a world class athlete, world class guy, human being. The way he was able to put like his people on and what he's been able to do for the community and the game of basketball, and the pressure that he had on him coming. Yeah. I mean, it's like everything. Like he's been able to overcome a lot of adversity. So man, like even though you might, we'd be having these discussions. Me and my guys be having discussions about LeBron and Jordan and all that, man. I take my hat off to LeBron because I'm a Jordan guy, but LeBron is a bad boy.
So being that you're a Jordan guy, that means you say Jordan is the GOAT then.
Hands down, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, but Jordan couldn't play all 5 positions though.
So what that mean?
It means you can't be the greatest if you can't play all 5 positions.
I mean,
that means you have a weakness.
That means you don't need to put him at all 5 positions. You can put him at any position you want him to play. You put him there. You're gonna win. As long as he's on the court, your chances are increased by 100%. You're gonna win. That dude is a winner.
Yes.
You hear? I forget what. I forget who said it, but. Jordan, did Jordan go number 2 or number 3? He went number 2.
I think it was number 2.
Yeah, Jordan was number 2, and I think the person that went number 1, number 3. Yeah. The person that went number 1, it was a 7-footer, and they was like, I need or number 2. Was it number 2 or number 1? Yeah, Sam Boyd, and they said we want Jordan, but we need a center. They said, well, shit, pick him and put him at center. And they picked with Sam Bowie, and I never even seen the highlight.
Nope.
I never even seen the highlight. So You could have put Jordan at anything, man.
Yeah.
He
He
was
changed
definitely,
the game, man. He definitely came in and changed the game.
like I said before, man. Like what guy you know can be the leading scorer of the league's leading scorer and the defensive player of the year in the same year.
Same year.
You know how much energy you got to be and effort you got to be putting in the game to be able to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Because most of the time they try to save you. They try to save your energy for offense and put somebody else on.
Yeah.
Put so you got to definitely be. It takes a lot of energy. So you get drafted 2009,
Uh-huh.
right? So did you know it was coming? Did they send you a notice in the mail? Is it like we watch on TV where I don't. I mean, it's the second round. What do you guys get called up the same way? How does that work?
My memory served me correctly. Like I had no idea. After
You ain't that old.
I thought I was gonna go first round,
Hmm.
and then end up the first round was over, and I was just sitting there. I was just stuck. I was on stuck mode because I'm like, they ain't picked me yet. I was in my feelings, so I'm like, man, I was just sitting there. I didn't know who was gonna pick. Like once I think it was like the last team that I knew that I did real good. I had a good workout with, and they
Hmm.
didn't pick me. I can't remember what pick they had, but I think it was like 17 or 19. I think the Pistons had it, and I think they picked Austin Day. I think. But I can't. But after like that, I didn't know who I was gonna get picked by. I ain't know nothing. So I was just sitting there. I was confused to be honest. And I was like I had a little chip on my shoulder. And then they said my name, and then like probably like 5 minutes later, Memphis called me, and they was like, we know you slipped in the second round. We don't know how you felt, but they pretty much told me that they was going to make sure that I was going to feel like a first round pick, and they was going to give me a guaranteed contract.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they made me feel like everything was cool, and they showed me love. Yeah.
So that moment that you realized that you got picked, that you on the team, what was that like? Did y'all celebrate? You go home and celebrate, call your mom, let everybody know.
Nah, I was still in my feelings, man. I was,
Guy.
it took me so late. I was in my feelings, like, but I'm gonna tell you this though. I remember I was in Miami, and this was right before the summer league. I'm in Miami right before the summer league starts, and I'm on vacation. And my agent say, "We just set up a contract. Let me know what you think." I just emailed you, and I looked at the email. I was like on Ocean Drive, and I looked at the email on my phone, and it was a contract for 2.3 million for 3 years. 2.3 million or something like that for 3 years or something like that. And man, I was just looking at the zeros. I was just like, and
Ocean Drive in Miami, you wasn't by yourself, I know.
I was by myself. I was by myself. I had a female with me at the time, but we was like, I think we had like a little argument or something because I think she stayed in the room and I left out and I was just walking down the street and then my agent hit me up random and just told me to check my email and I looked at my email. I seen that contract. I was like, man, I made it. I was just thinking like I made it. I gave the homeless dude. I gave a couple homeless dudes some money and stuff. I was like, I made it. I was so happy. I was hyped. I was like, it's
On
here, baby.
Ocean Drive, huh?
Yeah, it's here. I
So
went
you
to
played against some tough guys, man. It was about 4 or 5 years. How many years was you in? About four. And I know they don't. I looked. They didn't have you down for the Spurs, but you told me the story about the Spurs,
yeah, yeah,
about them. So, but other than that, you got drafted to Memphis, and you also played for the 76ers, and of course you played for Indiana. But during that course of the time, you played against some monsters at they peak, like Derrick Rose, MVP Derrick Rose. You played against Tim Duncan. Of course, you played LeBron James, Paul Pierce, Dwane Wade, of course, and then some of your draft, some of the people in your draft class, like Blake Griffin. What was that like battling against them guys, man? Like some of these guys, I know you grew up. I'm sure you was just watching on TV.
Yeah, yeah. And I grew up watching. Well, I wasn't a big student of the fan, but obviously, like everybody know who Kobe was.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so like when the first time I had to guard Kobe, I got like a YouTube like clip of me talking about my first time guarding Kobe. But the first time I guarded Kobe, man, I was sizing him up in the warm ups, and he was just kind of shooting. I'm like, I'm kind of bigger than Kobe. Like, he ain't really that big. Kobe came out that thing on fire.
Oh,
But
fire.
it was just like, yeah, he came out on fire. But it was just like going up against guys like Kobe, then Melo, then Bron. Like every night, it was somebody. It was every night Kobe, Melo, LeBron, D Wade, Brandon Roy. You remember
Yeah.
Kevin Martin, Monte Ellis. It was like every night it was somebody, and it was like you just couldn't get a night off. And it was just like after a while, after like the second, I'm gonna say after probably like 20, 30 games in the season, you're like, okay, I got it. You know what I'm saying? You just know, like you kind of know the approach you got to bring to the game, and then you kind of get over them butterflies of kind of going against, because you didn't win against everybody after about 20, 30 games. Out of about 30 games, you didn't play it against everybody. So, but it was crazy because it was like in my position, I couldn't get a night off.
You can't. Nope.
I couldn't get a night off. Like, everybody was so tough, and then tough in their own way. So like you feel like, okay, I can play. I'm a pretty good defender. I guarded this guy pretty good. He's the guy. And then it'll be another guy that play totally different than that guy, but he ain't even as popular or as of a big name. But he'll go off and give you a bucket. So that's how the league is, man. You have a guy come off the bench and just go and catch five. I just seen Lester Hudson come off the bench and get Kobe like 25. I was like, yeah,
Have you had a conversation? Did you ever have a conversation with Kobe?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I did. We never spoke. But, one time we played against him. He was guarding me. I had 24. And he said after the game, we beat him too. He said after the game, they didn't expect me to go off like I did. And I thought that was dope. I remember like when I came home and everybody read it in the paper. It was that was like the talk of the week. And Kobe said that he didn't expect me to go off. Yeah.
That you did.
Yeah. Yeah, and Kobe was like one of the guys. I love Kobe. I'm a big Kobe fan too. I love Kobe, especially when he had the Bush. Kobe with the Bush back in the day with the Adidas commercials.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Kobe was the man. That's probably like one of the only guys I followed.
Mm-hmm. I remember when they first threw him in the game. His first game, that big old Bush. And he for the Lakers. I think didn't they win? I think I don't know if they was winning or what the situation was, but I just remember him coming in as his rookie season. A lot of energy.
Yeah, man.
Top 5 all time. Matthew, somebody chimed in and said top 5 all time.
Oh, Kobe?
Yeah. Or what's your top 5? What's your top 5? Since he put that up there, what's your top 5 of all time?
Y'all gonna have to excuse me because I'm not a student of the game.
Hey, listen, man, it's your top 5. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing else.
So I don't know the old guys. Like I'm gonna put Jordan.
Mm-hmm. I already knew that. LeBron.
I'm gonna put Bron in there. Jordan, LeBron, Jordan, LeBron, I'm about ready to say some crazy.
Say it, man. Who is it? Jordan, Bron, Kobe? No Kobe?
Jordan, Bron, Kobe.
Yeah, we helping you out. You got 2 more spots. That's it. He said top
I
5.
low key want to say Steph.
Why? What's wrong with that? Steph is a
Yeah,
beast.
yeah. I love watching Steph play. Like right now, no, I would rather watch Steph play than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Steph is like, to me, Steph is entertainment. He box office.
Yeah.
Like the way the Warriors play right now is unreal. And maybe because I always wish I could shoot,
You
but
should,
I
you
just
shoot good now. It's too late now.
yeah. But I love the way Steph play, man. So Jordan, Kobe, Shaq. I mean
Shaq.
Jordan. I might say Shaq. Jordan, Kobe, Shaq, Bron, Steph. That's what I'm gonna
Okay.
go. Yeah.
That's a good list. That's a good list. So listen, you talk about how the game, we talked about, how Jordan changed the game, and so Steph changed the game also,
Absolutely.
and that changed, a lot of that change too came right around the time you was on your way out, 2012, when you was
Yeah.
when you when
I
it,
blame all the shooters for my downfall.
say that again.
I blame all the shooters for my downfall.
Exactly.
They
Yes.
start coming in shooting. They changed the landscape because it was just like, man, when you could shoot at a high clip like the way they were shooting, and they shooting off the dribble and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then when you start adding guys like Kevin Durant being able to do what he do at his size,
In the range, you ain't even got to the range.
yeah, in the range, yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. It's like, man, if you can't shoot, you almost can't compete. If you gotta have shooters on your team. If you can't shoot, you can't compete in the league.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be. If you can, it's going to be very difficult. And then like obviously when you're able to compete at a high clip, it's very difficult to maintain that play over a long period of time. Like Steph going to be able to play forever. Like Klay Thompson going to be able to play forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like them guys going to play forever because they can just shoot it. Like I wonder how long. And I'm surprised LeBron's still doing what he's doing. I wonder how long Giannis going to be able to do what he's doing. You know what I mean? Because it's like
Yeah.
that
You
just
had to
takes a
change.
toll. That take a toll on your body. Like, man, I remember playing, and I would wake up in the morning and my feet be hurting so bad. Feet, ankles, knees, everything. I'm like, oh my God.
Bro, 82 games.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm 26, I'm 27, my body on fire. Like people don't realize, like, man, it's not that 82 games is not a joke. And you talking about 82 games in my last 3 years, we was in the playoffs every year. So
82 plus.
yeah, we 82. I'm 82 plus every year. So man, it was 82 plus every year and at least 10 games. Every time I was in the playoffs, at least 10 games in the playoffs. So it was.
Wait a minute. Oh, okay, yeah. That's because y'all the first round y'all will go 7. So I'm trying to.
The second round, I always made it to at least the second round, and then I always went to at least game 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. So you got a little son now,
Absolutely.
Junior, right?
The fourth.
The fourth.
Sam Young, the fourth.
Mm-hmm.
I had to change the name, the legacy, man. I had to, that thing up. Sam Young's wasn't doing so good at first, man. You had to change it up, baby.
Oh yeah. Oh, you talking about from Pops not doing
Pops,
good?
Yeah, exactly. So I had to change up the landscape a little bit. Got a little Sam out here doing pretty well.
So you gonna teach him how to shoot?
He learning now, man. His shot look better than mine.
So that's my question. How you gonna teach somebody how to shoot and you don't even know how to shoot?
Cause just like how all the coaches teach you how to play, but they don't know how to play.
That was a good answer.
That's the same thing. They do the same thing.
Exactly. So 2012, right? You told me the story where the Spurs, you got the Spurs picked you up for at
Yeah.
least.
So
Tell me that situation.
we did a what was that? Non-guaranteed contract with the Spurs, and we had I had a pretty good training camp, and we was playing in the preseason. We started playing in the preseason, and I was there for about maybe a couple months, 2-3 months. But I think I had a game where Pop put me in the game, and I always wanted to score. Like I always, and that was part of my problem too. I always wanted to get buckets. Like man, my whole career I always got buckets, but I ain't have to shoot at a high clip to get buckets because I was always able to. I was a good slasher. I could get to the basket. I was athletic, so I was able to maneuver a little bit. But in the league, it's different. That 3-point line so far back, it creates havoc.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Pop put me in the game, and when he put me in the game, it was like fourth quarter, 6-7 minutes to go, something like that. He put me in the game, and we in preseason. I'm coming in shooting. I'm like, man, I need to get some shots up. But after the game, I think I shot like 8 times or something like that, 7-8 times that game. And after that game, we played. The next morning, they came in. He must have slept and let me sleep on it. He came in. He was like, man, I'm sorry, Sam. I can't use you. You probably kick my ass in the next playoffs or something like that. The next time we play out, but I can't use you. And then got cut. And then, I mean, he's a good coach for a reason. He cut me, and they won the championship. What you want me to say? Yeah,
they would have won it with you on there.
Yeah, they would have won it with me, but he knew what he was doing. He knew what he wanted. Let me say that. He knew what he wanted. He knew what he wanted because he was like, man, we can't use you. And I'm talking about like, I had a pretty good camp. I had a good camp, but I guess he just didn't want that type of attitude or that type of that energy. You know what I mean? We knew what he wanted, but I mean, and then Kawhi was coming out, and Kawhi had a damn good training camp too. He did really, really good. I didn't know Kawhi was that good up until then. And Kawhi was killing. I was like, this dude, like he's a star. But this is before the championship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we ended up. They ended up cutting me. I left. I ended up going to Australia. I went home, chilled for a second. I was sitting on the couch. I'm like, man, I just want to play for anybody. I don't care. Ended up going to Australia, and then I went to Puerto Rico. And that same year, they won a championship.
Yeah. So what was it like playing overseas?
Could have had me a ring, man.
You could have had a ring, yeah. If you wouldn't, you shouldn't have got out there gunning, throwing up all them shots. You're in preseason. looking like a weed. You out there playing like a scrub, man. I got to get some points, so you just throwing a shot.
Hey, what I'm supposed to do 6 minutes at the end of the game.
Hey, you just supposed to act like you've been here before.
Went up and down the court.
Yeah, pass the ball here, man.
Hey, look, at that time, I'm a changed man now.
You dunk on a couple, get down the lane, dunk on a couple people, and you shoot. You probably shoot threes. You practice it.
Yeah, I was shooting threes.
You didn't let the cat out the bag, then. You didn't let him know you.
Yeah, I was up there. So when they ended up winning, I was happy for them because the year before, I told you I'd be hating on LeBron a little bit. The year before they beat us, LeBron and them beat us. So the Spurs beat LeBron. I was like, I wasn't mad. Wasn't mad at it because LeBron got us up out of there when I was in Indiana.
So you wasn't mad at the team that cut you?
Nah, I wasn't mad.
Oh man.
I wasn't mad.
So Puerto Rico playing overseas. What was that like? First of all, before we even get there, why did you neglect to work on your jump shot? So you didn't notice that the league was changing, all these people shooting threes. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, your strong point was getting down the lane and and dunking and and defense, playing tough defender. But why not, you know, work on that jump shot? Or did you think it was just too far gone for me to fix? Like,
I think that might have been a little bit part of it. I think I was going through a lot of other stuff, like family wise and stuff like that.
mhm,
So it was just like a lot of stuff in my head. I'm just trying to get away at the same time, perform.
yeah,
It was, it was just a lot. So it was kind of that was I feel like occupying my brain more than anything.
yeah.
And
It definitely a lot of distractions, obviously.
yeah, that's exactly what there's a lot of distractions. And then when you get distracted, man, it's people in there, they locked in. Like this how I was locked in college. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
When you locked in, it's a different world, and you got a different mentality. You bring in a different mentality to the game, and then you can kind of feel, or at least I know when I was playing, I could feel when I'm playing against somebody and they ain't all the way there. You know what I mean? They ain't all the way invested,
mhm,
and I'm sure other people can feel that too. So
yeah. And people, yeah, and coaches, people they know they probably get paid to notice that stuff.
yeah, yeah,
So, and that's big though. You would think, making it to that high level that, and you making this money that, but like they say, more money, more problems. There's always, issues.
man. Everybody gonna be pulling on you. It's like you are you the superhero of your family.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody looking for you to save the day. You know what I mean? And that can take a toll on you, over time. In the beginning it's cool. You're like, oh yeah, I got you, I got you. But then over time it's just like, man, come on, like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah, it just started to become an issue where I was like thinking about it more than I should have, and I should have been more locked in. But it was like everybody that was around was kind of, or I ain't really had nobody that like,
To mentor you, didn't have a mentor.
yeah, I ain't had no mentors. I was just I was winging it. I ain't had no mentors. I was doing everything on my own. So I think that was probably a big problem too.
Yeah, it's fortunate that you was able to play the amount of time you did without a mentor and without having someone guide you. So if you had have been, if you had somebody really show you the ropes, you would have been a lot further. And I guess it seems like, and it's just from listening to you, in my perspective, it seems like you've been used to doing that ever since, you've been separated from your dad and just you and your mom and them. So you've been kind of used to doing your own thing, no role model, what are my instructions? What are my job? And you just get it done on
Yeah,
your own.
exactly. Yeah, I always been that. Like I always been self sufficient.
Hmm.
Like even when I left and went to Hargrave, I was out there by myself and I kind of did my own thing. Obviously, it was super disciplined, so I couldn't do too much. But once I left there and I was able to navigate that situation, I went to University of Pittsburgh. I was down there by myself, so it was easy for me to just kind of lock myself away and do my own thing. And it's just like over as time went on, and then like different problems or issues occurred, I always kind of isolate myself and then lock in and find like I guess it's like safe space where I can, or this space mentally where I can kind of go to work. But once I would try to get to that space, and then everybody kind of yanked me out the space, yanked me out. You know what I'm saying? Tugging on you. It's hard to get in that space where you can kind of isolate yourself, because now you got so much attention on you, you can't isolate.
Yeah.
Very difficult to isolate. You know what I mean? And that was kind of like my way of kind of going to hibernation and what's the word, and grinding it out.
Oh yeah, but again, not having and it's difficult when you don't have that person to talk to. Like I said, that mentor is somebody to just kind of shoot, let them know how you feeling, what's going on, and to be able to get some different perspective on things. So
I mean, you need that, and like right now, I feel like right now, that's what I got now in the business world that I didn't have when I was when I was doing my basketball thing. So like now I got like mentors that I can kind of reach out to in regards of doing the real estate, in regards of doing development, in regards of doing other different ventures and stuff like that. I can run it past people, and that kind of give me some perspective, even if I don't always go with their opinion. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I got another side or another perspective to kind of compare it to.
So do you find it hard, or is it easy for you to reach out to these people now?
Man, it's it's not that difficult, because I feel like even when I was I feel like I always been I don't want to say a loner, but I always was the person that could just go in isolation, right?
Mhm.
So I would go in isolation and I would kind of figure everything out on my own. But I feel like in that way, especially when I was in the league, you know what I'm saying? It was a lot of opportunities to build relationships that I didn't take advantage of.
Mm.
So because of that, I made a conscious effort to make sure I'm open. Like I'm always trying to meet people and to holler at people, and just kind of like, okay, well, you got an event going on over there. Okay, I'll you know what I'm saying, lend myself. Just because I want to sustain and keep the relationship. You know what I mean? So I always try to make a conscious effort to do stuff like that, just because I know sometimes I can be a loner, or I can go in isolation and it'll look like I didn't fell off the face of the earth. You know what I mean?
So you don't there's no you so college, NBA career, there's nobody you keep in contact with from any of those, or
So I'm in my college group chat.
Mhm.
Uh, but I mean, I ain't set it up. They just kind of included me, and I was like, all right, what's up, guys? You know what I mean? But not really, not really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't got one outside of the college group chat. I ain't really got not one friend from college. You know what I mean? I was just always, it was just the goal. The goal is just to
Yeah,
get
just
there. Like, and I was just locked in always. And I can go in isolation. I'll be locked in. I can put on some earphones and I can live in my own world. You know what I mean? I was always like that. So now, like I said before, I just make conscious efforts just to reach out to, especially guys I know, like guys that been there and done that, and I can see that they willing to make the effort to kind of keep the relationship going with me. I always make sure that I return the favor, or I go above and beyond and try to do, what I'm saying, stuff in return for them as well. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Let me shout a couple people out. I got my brothers, a couple of my brothers in here, Jimmy Strong, Brandon, Matthew. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Latrell, Titan Freeman, he's a rapper. Awesome. And Marjorie, I definitely appreciate you guys sending a message. Yeah. So I got another question for you, man. What kind of do you get any kind of perks being a NBA veteran? Like military veteran, they get discounts, at the grocery store and different places. NBA veteran, do they get y'all? You got any perks or something, man?
Well,
How they take care of y'all?
I mean, we got benefits. We get benefits. We get dental and health and all that stuff. We got 401k. We got pension.
What about games? I'm talking about games. Do you get to just walk in the building? Do you got like a special
Look,
card?
if that's the case, I don't know nothing about it. Ain't nobody send me no memo. Ain't nobody send me no memo, man. But like we had like a little event this summer, and they do a lot of events for like former NBA players that want to get involved in different activities and different like real estate, stocks, tech companies, all types of stuff, like different things you want to do, maybe that can be financially beneficial outside of basketball. So like I did a real estate convention or a real estate event in Vegas. It's probably like 3 or 4 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did that event, I mean, I met some big time guys at that event, and that I probably wouldn't have met, or I wouldn't have met if I didn't have the NBA kind of set that whole event up. And they got like a lot of different events just like that kind of, you know what I'm saying, put you in a position where you can kind of, if you do the work and if you taking advantage of those opportunities, you really can make some other stuff shake.
Is that what it is? A bunch of NBA veterans with all the money buying all the property everywhere?
Mm-hmm. Sounds about right. They're just learning the game. Some people just trying to learn the game. Some people, you know what I'm saying, haven't even got in the game yet, but they just got some cash that they can kind of throw around. So they're gonna make it happen.
How did you know it was over? Like you know what? It's time to hang the shorts up and get into entrepreneur, real estate, or whatever your next venture was.
You know what? I always kind of been looking for the next move, and that probably was not in my best interest too. That I was always kind of looking for what's next, even early. I was always looking for what's next, because like my second year, like I said before, my first year in the league. After my first year, that summer, I bought like 4 houses and just rented them all out. Granted, it was a recession, so everything was like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, especially in Atlanta. Was so cheap during that recession. Like I came in Atlanta and like I seen houses with pools in the back for $30,000.
Yeah, this was after, because the market crashed in 2008.
Yeah.
So you came in 2009. That's when you got your first contract.
Yeah.
So you was buying people's houses that they lost.
Yeah, pretty much. And then like I remember back then there was a apartment complex. It was 30 units, 33 units in the apartment complex. It was going for $300,000, $300,000. 30 units for $300,000.
Wow.
Yeah. It was crazy. Like it was so much opportunity back there, but obviously me being young, I didn't really know how big of an opportunity that I was looking at. I was just like, man, damn, these houses 20,000. Let me get 3 of them. Let me get 4 of them. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you ordering at McDonald's.
Exactly. But I ain't really as you know what I'm saying, as a seasoned investor. Like I wasn't that. I just got lucky because I felt like, you know, then this might be something that I would want to get into. Or I was kind of into real estate, but I didn't really know what was going on. I was just kind of doing what I thought was right.
That's part of being closed too. You know, not having people to really communicate with and teach you. You know, that's why it's important that you keep an open mind and meet new people, and you know, because people teach you stuff.
Yeah. And then I noticed that, like when I was in the league, I noticed like people sitting on the sidelines and stuff. They would be they more than willing to have conversations with you. Obviously, as a player, more than willing. These guys make the same amount of money that some of the players make. You know what I mean? But they
Yeah.
just doing other stuff. They not dribbling the basketball. They owning tech companies and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
but like they always obviously they came to see you play. For them to be able to want to interact with you is makes sense. But back then I was just I don't know. Back then I was just like I was in my own world back then.
And you was young. You didn't really have the education. That's a lot of issues with a lot of us, especially the people in our community. We're not taught, in the Black community, we're not taught about investing in real estate and stuff like that. We don't have that knowledge. So here we are, you giving a lot of money. You're supposed to buy something, but you don't know what
Yeah.
or what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's just part of the cycle. So, it's unfortunate, but that's how the world is. It's knowledge.
Mm-hmm. And it was crazy because like Josh Childress hosted the event in Vegas that I went to, the real estate event.
Mm-hmm.
And Josh Childress, he went to Stanford. Was it Stanford? I think he went to Stanford, but I think he already had like mentors and stuff. But Josh Childress is doing the same thing his rookie year. But instead of like I bought like a few houses during the recession, Josh Childress bought a 50-unit apartment complex his rookie year.
Wow.
And now they saying that he's on the verge of becoming a billionaire.
A billionaire.
A billionaire.
Yeah.
So like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's the difference. Like, not only when he was buying his properties, because we both started buying properties at an early age, but obviously he was buying them with intention, like with purpose.
Yeah.
Like, he understood what was going on, versus me coming from these streets, and man, I didn't really know what was going on.
You was just buying houses like jewelry, like, yeah, let me get poured in. You want some pools? Yeah, add some pools. Let me get some with some pools in it.
Yep.
Like you ordering that Burger King.
Mm-hmm. And then I would keep them, like, even though, like, granted, I ended up making money off the houses that I bought, but like I ain't had a property management company. It probably took me those houses I bought. Like nowadays, if I had those same houses, if I bought those same houses, I get them fixed in 30 days, rent them out, and then I'll flip them and make money just like that. Man, I had them things for like a half a year. I ain't fix them up. You know what I mean? It's just like all that stuff. You know what I mean? I just had the houses sitting out there. Like, it's crazy. You know what I mean? So it's just like
paying the mortgage. You paying the mortgage on there. You ain't renting it or nothing.
It was 20,000, so I just paid the cash. So
oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So I ain't had no mortgage, but it was just like they was just there.
Just there.
And like I had every year, like I would go to overseas and come back. I forget to pay the HOA fees, so then I had like a shit ton of HOA fees that I had to pay when I got back plus interest. You know what I mean? So it was just like a lot of nonsense that I had to over time. I had to learn about, like, and when I got overseas, like toward the end, I'm saying my last 3 or 4 years overseas, I really started educating myself, and that's what kind of got me to become better financially, and helped me like start building assets so I can get to like development and start developing like the townhomes and the quads and the apartment buildings and stuff like that. So, man, if I sat overseas, because I was like, man, I was sitting over there, and I was like, man, it's coming. I could feel it coming to an end. My body don't feel the same. I'm not really excited about doing this shit no more. What is next? And then it's like, am I going to stop playing basketball and go back to the hood, or just kind of sit around in one of the houses I got and just relax? Or I'm going to be able to put myself in position to where I can live the same lifestyle and enjoy the same quality of life as I always did. You know what I mean? So, I just started sitting back, educating myself, reading books, on financial wealth and development and stuff like that. And it was all she wrote. Started networking a little bit. Got to it.
Not to mention your responsibilities changed too, right? You had end up getting custody of your son,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
I definitely want to commend you on because a busy lifestyle, traveling and playing overseas and different, and making money in that atmosphere. Typically, the guy would leave the responsibility to the parents or to another family member, but you stepped up to take on that responsibility yourself. Obviously, we don't have to get into any of the details, but there was a need for you to get custody of your son because the situation wasn't the best, and ultimately you had to completely retire as a result of that.
Yeah, exactly. It was just one of them situations where it's like, man, I could play for a few more years and make some good money because I was making 300,000. I could play 3 more years and make 300,000, make close to $1 million in that 3 years, or I can. But my son is going to be in a very unfortunate situation, and it was just like I had to make a decision whether I'm going to try to push out these next 3 years. And then a part of me, you like, man, you make this money. Obviously, your son going to be able to benefit from this money. So he's like all types of stuff going into your head. He's going to be able to benefit from this money. He just got to endure these 3 years. Should I just allow that to happen? And it's like, nah, I just need to go get him right now because if I don't, no, Lord knows what will happen. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I just decided I was going to retire. And I didn't even have like no type of retirement party or nothing. I just was just like, I'm not. Once I came home and then I went to court, I was like, I'm not, I can't go back right now. And at first it was just like, I can't go back right now. And then it eventually became, I'm not going back. I got to be here. So,
So they've been calling. Had they called you a few
oh
times?
man, every day they call. I mean, they still be calling me. They still like, I'm talking about Puerto Rico called me, Dominican Republic called me, uh, uh, places in like the Middle East, they still be calling.
Wow.
Places still be calling. I probably can go over there and get buckets too.
Yeah, you can get some. Yeah, you can get some buckets. You can shoot now too. I didn't seen it.
I mean, better than what? No, I still can't shoot. I can shoot, but not. I can shoot when I'm playing against y'all.
But not at that level. Then that what you're saying.
Not at the NBA level. Like when it's so far away. It's
Well,
so far out.
Puerto Rico ain't the NBA level.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, I'm good. Like when I'm over there, I'm good. They can't. I'm good over there. I'm good at Puerto Rico. Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, all them places, I'm good.
You good, huh?
They're gonna have a problem. They're gonna have a problem.
You getting old, man. You getting old. You're gonna have to jump over in these 40 and over games with me, man.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I got about 2.5 years before I'm 40, man. So I got about 2.5 years.
Yeah, so that's good, man. So now you just getting your son ready, man. Shout out to my brother Marlon. He's a hooper too, Marlon Hooker.
I be training him every day, man. We get in the gym every day. I went to Pittsburgh about 2 months ago. And I don't even know if I'm supposed to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Don't worry about it. We was up there. I ain't realized they was on salary. The kids on salary now.
In Pittsburgh, to my college,
Yeah, college kids on salary now.
they changed that. You sure? You talking about they getting paid now?
Yeah, they get paid. They on, but it's the school paying them too.
Yeah, they changed that. That changed.
Yeah, they changed, but I didn't know it was like you get your scholarship, you get like your little Pell grants and your this, but you get like 140K a year. I didn't know that. But
But don't it depend on the player?
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? I was that player. I was the player. Like,
Man, Bro,
Look,
you old. A lot of things done changed, man.
yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. That's crazy out
You
here,
gonna try to go back and get your money for Pitt?
man. They owe me something.
Yeah, they changed that, man.
Nah, I think Pittsburgh was like in last place last year.
Oh, to change that and start paying their players and stuff.
Nah, I'm saying they was in last place and they
Yeah.
payroll. They got people on payroll. They in last place. We was in first. We was number one in the country when I was there. I need back pay.
That's a long time ago.
I know.
Matter of fact, they're gonna have to pay everybody. Dan Marino, all those people, Aaron McDonald, everybody gonna go back. Y'all line up.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You make a good point.
But what you think about that though? Them playing the players, I think that's good though.
Yeah, I'm just messing around. I think that's dope. I think that's dope. They should have been paying the players because, man, you know how much they make so much money at that university. Since I've been there, and we had like state of the art facility, training room, training everything, weight room, hot tub, cold tub, everything you can think of. We had it, and they didn't change it like 2 or 3 times since I left. And they just making it. They're not even making it better. They're just making it different because it's just so much money that they could just spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and just change it up real quick because they just got the money to do it.
Yeah.
They need to be paying people. Like if they got that money to do it like that, they could just pay. They should have been paying the players, but it's good that they now getting, they getting compensated for it.
They're getting something. That's good. That's good.
Uh-huh.
Man, listen, man. Go ahead. Anything else you want to share with us?
I was just gonna say when I was up there, the facilities that they got now that's there, that was up there 2 months ago. I mean, it's unreal. It's like it's better than some of the NBA facilities I went into.
College is the biggest money grab in the country.
Yeah.
You already know that. The rates, the tuition and stuff go up, almost every year, every other year, higher than any other product in the United States. So I'm telling you, man, they about that money. So they should, be giving it back. That's why people fighting to get their loans, forgiven. And
Yeah.
so
because they know they made enough money.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And they don't have any, there's no regulations. They didn't have any regulations. They just charge tuition, go up, all that stuff. So that's crazy, but that's how it is over here for sure.
Hey, look, I just seen that you had the comment section. I didn't even know people was over here commenting.
Yeah, we did have another question for you. Matthew asked another question. He asked, do you think first he said he appreciate, I could put it up here too. He's a friend of mine. He said he appreciates your time. It was cool to watch. Y'all had me laughing. Last question, do you think Steph is gonna get it more than 6 rings?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I hope so because I like Steph, man.
I do too.
I like Steph. I hope he do because they got the talent. It's just that now that Kawhi and Paul George is back,
it's gonna be tough.
And they got John Wall at the point. LeBron is back. He's older, but he ain't looking like it.
They're gonna have to do something about that Draymond Green position.
You think so?
I think so. It's just going to be too tough to just have a non-scorer. It's going to be too tough. He's going to have to do something, put some buckets in or something.
Nah.
You don't think so?
Nah. Draymond Green, Steph can't get the type of stuff. They don't get that stuff off if they ain't got Draymond Green. He don't score, but he makes the offense run smooth.
Yeah, right? He do.
And he make the offense unpredictable too. Not with his scoring, but like he do them backdoor cuts and then them dribble handoffs, and dribble handoff. They throw it back to him. Then he throw the lobs. He make the offense real tricky because there ain't no other big man really doing
No,
that. And then on defense, he's a good defender. So
but
he can,
it's changing. The landscape is changing. Watch. He's small. He's getting older. He ain't getting younger.
yeah, but he ain't super old. He ain't that old. He probably 33, 32.
Yeah, that's up there. For a non, like I said, for a non-shooter, like you
Man,
got to start putting some buckets in there.
what Draymond doing, he can do that when he's 40. He can do that at 45.
What? He ain't gonna
Not
be able to chase
not,
people.
not scoring. He gonna be able to do what he's doing at 45. Like he gonna be
That's
able.
why. Listen, that's why the kid Wiggins.
Yeah,
He was able to overshadow the scoring portion for Draymond. Like you don't need that because we got this Wiggins guy.
yeah,
But if they didn't have the Wiggins, they would have been a struggle. Draymond Green wouldn't have been enough.
yeah.
So that's just how I see the league turning, man. All these big guys are shooting threes, and you know what I'm saying. You got to be both ways. 3 and D.
Yeah. But I think what makes Steph so unguardable is that he can play off the ball. And why Steph is able to play off the ball is because they got Draymond Green. Steph coming off a lot of pin downs and a lot of running all around the world. But if Steph had to play point like a traditional point guard,
Nah.
because Draymond Green wasn't there, I think it can be tricky.
Yeah, but
It'll be different. I won't say tricky, but it'll be different. And I don't know how successful that will look or that would be.
it wouldn't be as successful. And Draymond Green is smart. That's another thing too, is that he's definitely a high IQ when it comes to basketball.
100%.
And him and Steph, him and all of them, him and everybody pretty much have that chemistry where he knows where they're going to be and how to get him the ball. So he, in that aspect, I do give him props in that aspect for sure. So tomorrow, man, listen, tomorrow, 9 o'clock, everybody that's tuned in right now, tune in. The family talk. It's the barbecue with the fellas. We there every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. Sam, you gonna get up? You gonna be there, man? I see you yawning.
Yeah, I'll probably be in the building.
You gotta come say hi to the fellas, man. We won't keep you that long if you don't need to be, but you gotta come back and say hi to the fellas in the morning. I'm gonna wake you up anyway.
I got you.
For sure. But look, man, I appreciate you 100%. I am mad that you didn't play on my team, though. That's messed up. Like I told you about the league.
You said y'all was filled up.
Yeah.
I said, you said, no, we already got our team. I was like, all right. I got
They was mad at me too. They was so mad. They was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I thought we was filled up, man. I didn't want to,
You was the first person that told me about the league, and then it wasn't until they had the basketball tournament for the kids that I ended up running into them, and then they told me that they got spaces left on the team if I want to play. And I'm like, all right, I'll play.
Yeah, and you end up playing with
Wave,
Wave.
The Wave.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about the guy. Man, I can't remember his name. The little light skinned dude.
I can't even think
with the flat top. I forgot his name.
Lou.
Yeah. Lou. Yeah. He's a true point guard, man. He can play.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it used to be thick.
Jumper.
Yeah.
Got a nice little jumper too.
Yeah. No, not. Oh, you played against Lou. Yeah, Lou was the.
I played with Lou.
Yeah. Oh, the other Lou, the one with the real true Lou that got the jumper. He shoot from anywhere on the court.
Oh, I don't know. Him.
You ain't never played against him. He was on the other team. That was pretty good. The tall, light skinned dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, he was. They told me that because I ain't see y'all play against each other, but they told him you was giving it to him.
Nah, it was a dude on the team that it was a dude, one of the dudes. I don't know his name though, but he did pretty good. He could shoot that thing. He was shooting the
That's
hell out of
Lou.
it. Yeah, okay,
That's
yeah.
Lou.
Yeah, he was shooting the hell out of it. He was about
Yeah.
6'5", 6'4".
Yes, that's Lou.
Big dude.
A little
Yeah,
smaller than you. A little smaller than you.
yeah. But he can
Yeah.
play though.
Yeah. So
What?
again, man, until the next time, man, we're gonna have to, chop it up again, man. I appreciate you for sure.
For sure.
All right, man. So any last shout outs to anybody? You said you had to apologize to somebody.
Oh yeah. I forgot all about that. Yeah. We might have to bring that up another time. But
Yes, sir.
we might have to
Another
bring that up
time.
another time. But I gotta make that apology.
I'm just messing with you, man. All right,
gotta
man. I appreciate you, dog.
All right, appreciate you.
Till the next time, I'm gonna holler at you. Peace.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You heard it. That's the dude. That's my dude, Sam Young. So I appreciate everybody being tuned in to the Impact Podcast Show. We are here Friday night, 7 p.m. live. Every Friday night, 7 p.m. live. Next up, on the 30th, I have Alexis Young. She's a track athlete. She was in the Olympic trials a couple times. She's a Murray State University Hall of Fame inductee. She's going to be here on the 30th. Alexis Young. So you definitely want to be here for that. Next week, what I'm doing next week, I probably have a lesson next week. I don't have nobody's schedule. So, but y'all just make sure y'all keep it tuned right here. I appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, to the station. It's on YouTube or Facebook, either one. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Yeah.